Welcome into another edition of Sports Junkies here at RacineSportsZone.com. I'm Steve Sparky Fifer.
Hey, I just thought of something. Go ahead, finish up your intro.
I'm Steve Sparky Fifer from AM 1250 and 105.7 FM, The Fan in Milwaukee, coast of the Wendy's Big Show, weekday afternoons from 2 to 6. He is Gery Woelfel of the Racine Journal-Times. Yes, Gary, what did you
Too early?
What did you say?
You know what? We're periscoping, right?
Yeah.
That would be a great nickname for some NBA player.
The Periscope?
Yeah.
Not bad.
You know?
What would he have to look like?
I have no idea.
Because, like, Henson's the gadget.
But, I mean, nobody's been called the Periscope, right?
Yeah, long neck, Greg Easton is saying.
Okay, long neck.
Or like Martin Hanks back in the day for the Niners to say.
Good point. Yeah.
Longest neck I've ever seen.
I mean, that'd be awesome. I mean, it's timely.
Right.
It'd be a hit on social media.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's talk a little bit about
Fifer.
Let's talk a little bit about Bucks basketball here as we get ready. Media Day is in the books. Their open practice comes up Saturday.
By the way, nice tie at Media Day.
I always.
I mean, you wowed all the women in the audience.
There weren't any. I think it was a bunch of dudes for the whole thing. But 10:30 is the open practice on Saturday at the BC, and then from noon to 2 they do the autograph signings and have all the different events going on at the BMO Harris Bradley Center for Fan Fest. I think it's a cool idea. I like the concept.
It is.
It's free, so you don't have to pay to get in. And I hope they have a bigger crowd this year than they did last year.
Yeah, it should be fun. I've gone to every one of them, and I think for the fan it's ideal. I mean, afterwards you get to go onto the court. You can interact with the players, the coaches. If you're a Bucks fan, I think it's just a fantastic event to attend.
Yeah, I agree. Some of the news coming up for the Milwaukee Bucks, obviously, is John Henson working on that extension, hearing that it's close. Maybe it'll get done today, possibly. What type of numbers are you hearing, if you're hearing any numbers, on how much Henson's going to get here on this extension?
I think it's going to be very interesting. I think it's almost like a case study because there's a lot of other guys still out there unsigned.
Okay.
And I talked to John the other day, and he said it's very close. He didn't go into numbers. But now Middleton got $14 million a year, right? If I'm John Henson's agent, I'm not signing now. I'm sorry. He probably already has signed. You know, they've reached a verbal agreement or whatever.
Yep.
But I would sign that with the TV money because if I'm John Henson, I'm banking on my abilities this season to be good, like Jimmy Butler did last year. I thought that was awesome. He goes, no, I'm going to wait a year. I'm going to show you I'm a great player.
Big difference. The
this
difference
is the security right now for John Henson.
Right, but there's a big difference between those two players. Jimmy Butler showed that he could be consistent and play at a high level.
Not until last year. Last year was his breakout year. You saw glimpses.
Okay.
But last year, he took it to another level.
Okay, fine. But you knew he was a starter, right? Henson's a bench player, number one.
Right.
Number two, Henson, we all thought was on the verge of being traded at some point because seemingly every coaching staff that came in gave up on him at some point.
Exactly.
And it wasn't until the second half last year that Henson really stuck with Kidd and his coaching staff, and that's how I think he earned his extension.
Well, I think he earned his extension by his play in the playoffs against the Bulls.
Right.
I mean, he was by far the Bucks' best big man. You know, I mean, if they didn't have him from a shot blocking, rebounding standpoint, it would have been four and out. Simple enough. Again, if I'm John Henson, I say, you know what? I know you brought in Greg Monroe. I'm not going to get a lot of time, but I'm going to play this out because big men, especially athletic, and he's only, what, 24? Something like that?
He's young. 25, something like that, yeah.
I guarantee you there's going to be at least 4 or 5 teams that are saying, hey, John Henson, you might not be able to start in Milwaukee, but you can start for us.
But see, that's just it. If you look at Henson...
One team, real quickly, sorry to interrupt you, but like Dallas Mavericks, they're starting Zaza Pachulia now, and he's on his last legs. All of a sudden you bring in John Henson, you got a center for the next 8 years.
Sure. And this is the one thing with Henson, though. Jabari Parker's minutes, you think they're going to probably watch his minutes throughout the year. First year coming off this ACL. Number two, you don't really have a true backup center unless you believe in Miles Plumlee. And that's up to you if you want to believe in Miles Plumlee. Sure. So Henson should get the number one backup minutes at the 5, and he could get the backup minutes at the 4 too, where you could see Monroe and Henson playing together, and then you could see Henson and Parker playing together. Henson may get just as many minutes as Monroe and Parker do throughout the course of a game.
He's not.
On a night-in, night-out basis, they could all three get the same numbers.
Maybe for the first month or two, but then it's going to be Monroe. I guarantee you Monroe's going to get 30 to 35 minutes.
As he should, in my opinion.
Okay, right. And then you're going to have Parker getting at least 30 minutes.
If they let him go that long.
Yeah, and there's no assurances. I mean, I wrote a story a couple weeks ago on how great he looks physically. But I have been told by people in the organization that there's no guarantee he's going to start an opening night, even though he has been practicing. So I don't know what that's all about. But, yeah, again, they're going to monitor his minutes as they go along. So John Henson, I mean, in the best case scenario, will probably get 25 minutes.
That's good, though.
But if you're John Henson...
I'll take 25 minutes if I'm John Henson.
If you're John Henson and you could play 35 minutes and be a starter somewhere else and make a lot more money.
But there's no guarantee because as John Henson has seen, coaching staffs flip on him so quick, you don't even get a chance. So if you're Henson, you sign the deal, you get the security, and then play it out. Because let's say he gets, I don't know, $8 million a year.
If he gets anything under $12 million, I think he made a horrible mistake. I'm telling you right now.
I don't think he's going to get $12 million a year.
He probably isn't. And again, it comes back to security. Do you want the security of a contract knowing you can have 4 or 5 years?
But Gery, if he signs a 4-year deal at $8 million a year, he's still under 30.
$8 million with the new TV contract coming in is like getting 5 or 6.
Okay, and that's fine.
Absolute mistake.
You could do this dumb math all you want. Yeah. All I know is I can live on $8 million a year.
Well, sure you can.
I know that $8 million a year is a heck of a lot more money than he's making right now.
Okay. How much better do you think Tristan Thompson is than John Henson? He's definitely better, okay?
Offensively, he's better. Yeah, but I think Henson's a better defender.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
We're totally on board.
And Thompson, by the way, still not signing with anybody.
Thompson wants the max.
Sure he does.
The max.
And he doesn't deserve it.
Absolutely not. But it just tells you if this guy gets the max.
But Thompson's a starter. Henson's not.
No,
but see, that's the difference there. He's not the guy. Kevin Love is starting.
Yeah, Kevin Love's going to start.
Right. But if you give Tristan Thompson all that money,
right,
Tristan Thompson's going to play.
But I'm saying if you're John Henson and you see Tristan Thompson making $6-7 million a year more than he is, something's wrong.
I hope John Henson's not watching this video and getting crazy ideas. You know what? Gery Woelfel's right. I don't want the same as Middleton. Pay me. I hope that's not going on.
Because he's a big man, and big men are always overpaid.
Sure, I understand that.
It's not justifiable, but if the Bucks don't pay him, somebody else will. What about the Lakers? I mean, where do they go with this?
Sure, absolutely.
So, the Knicks.
I say sign. He's Gery Woelfel. He says hold on and don't sign John Henson. I say sign. We'll see what happens. I think it could get done as early as today. Steve Sparky, Fifer here. We'll talk to you next time. And don't forget, after Bucks games this year, you turn over to AM 1250 or 105.7 FM. The Fan will be doing our post-game show again this year. Gery Woelfel will be checking in after every game as well. We'll see you then. And don't forget, Sports Junkies each and every week here at RacinSportsZone.com.
Periscope, Fifer.